Today we're taking a look at long grain rice at Farming Simulator 25. Long grain rice is sown in the spring on a rice field that has not been flooded. This type of rice has a slightly longer growth phase than the wet planted rice and also produces a lower yield. However, you don't need any special machines to plant or harvest this rice, which makes it affordable right from the start of the game. With this variety, the rice field should only be flooded when the first green sprouts have emerged from the soil. Otherwise, some plants will not germinate and holes will appear in the field. When growing rice, it is important to note that the field may only remain flooded for a certain period of time. If the water remains on the field for too long, a number of rice plants will die. Flood the field for about 2 months before it has to be dry for the third growth stage. Once the rice is ready to be harvested, you will need a harvester. The rice can be sold for a profit or stored in a silo. First off, let's find ourselves a place to put our rice paddy. If you are playing on a map such as Riverbend Springs that doesn't have a rice paddy down, well, you need to put one down. If you're playing on Utampatai, there's quite a few, so you could just pick one. But here, we gotta create our own. I've decided to go with field number 82 all the way down here to the right of the store. It is, well, close to the store, and square and flat. And that's about it. In order to build our own rice paddy, go into your build mode. Go down one where you'll see factories, and you want to click over to see cultivation. Here, we will have our rice paddy information. Now, I'm utilizing the outside of this field, but you could put this anywhere. I could actually make just like a little one over here. I actually don't own this area. Hang on. I want to prove my point. You could make one like right here. Boom, 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 like that. And then finish. And then bam. That's a rice paddy now. You can put it literally anywhere. And you're good to go. You can also delete this as well. We're not going to do that now. So let's come over here and create our very own. And we're going to utilize the square of this field. Boom. Ba-boom, wha-bam, and finally, ka-chow. You always have to get a good ka-chow in there. So there you go. We are done. Now, there's a couple things that we could do still. So we could toggle the snapping for it. We can actually add another corner if we want to. So the last one I put was up there. However, you kind of see, well, maybe, there's a yellow line down in there. It can't go into the field where we're at, but it could go outside of it. I don't want to do that. I can also remove the last corner, but it's in a great place. I did a good job. And we can even change the placement height. So if I wanted to, we could raise this up, or we could even build it down into the ground, which is interesting because it just creates kind of a ridge around it from where we are. So one of the things I'm interested in is, will it create the ridge lower if we go down one? So I want to find that out. Let's click it and finish. Boom. Now, how is it? It actually... Oh, that's so nice. So if you go in and you click down one, it will actually build it down instead of building it up. And the outside is flush with the area around it. Well, bam, man. We found that out. Hey, if you came from the regular rice video, I didn't say that in there because I didn't know it. Sorry. So now that we've got that, right over here along the first edge, about halfway down the first edge, we're going to find this. This is our pump. And we could come in here and we could flood the field now if we wanted to, but we do not want to. Also, if you flood the field, you can unflood the field too in case you mess up. But don't flood the field. We're doing long grain rice. It doesn't get flooded yet, not until the second day. So we need something that's going to put down seed. Now, all of our regular planters will do long grain rice. So at this point, it is really personal preference. There are no special seeds to this. So just buy whatever you need and you'll be perfectly fine. Because the seeder I have requires fertilizer, I'm also going to get some fertilizer. One of the major benefits to doing this kind of rice, doing dry rice, long grain rice. You can call it really either one. I think for a while we have referred to it as dry rice, at least for the pre-release stuff. You can do this with normal seeders, normal harvesters. You know, all of the equipment, there's a good chance you probably have the equipment. I mean, you start with the starting equipment to do rice base game anyway. So this is definitely something that I recommend. Definitely give it a try. You could do regular long grain rice on the American map. You could do regular rice. It doesn't matter. Just do whatever you want. It's totally cool. As we drive over, I'm going to go ahead and select our long grain rice in the seeder, and we will get unfolded and get ready. Now's a good time to let you guys know that Farmer Cop has also done an incredible video on Rice and Farming Simulator 25. I'm going to be glancing over the basics. However, he goes super duper in depth. So if that's something you're interested in, please go check him out. One of the things that you will notice is we're seeding and fertilizing right away. No lime, because fields already have lime on them the first time they are created. So that makes things nice and easy. Another thing that makes things nice and easy is AI workers. And yes, I am going to utilize AI workers. So we're going to do that. Go, baby, go. This is basically step number 2. Step number 1 is to create your rice field. Step number 2, seed and do 1-stage fertilizer. It's also incredibly important to note that this crop can only be planted inside rice fields. So if you are, for whatever reason, trying to plant this outside of a rice field, it's not going to work. You have to build a rice field to do this, and you cannot add a water pump to any random field. Oh yeah, and if you're worried about hitting the pump, as far as I can tell, in the field anyway, there's no collisions. I don't know if there's one outside the field. Yeah, there's one outside the field for sure, but inside the field there's no collision, so you'll be a-okay. After you have seeded and done your first stage of fertilizer, you are done for like today in game. That's it. Don't forget, at the very beginning we said wait until the first bits of rice come through. I keep referring to this as grass. I've done it twice now. Wait until the first bit of rice comes through. So then, let's go to bed, and we'll see you in the morning. How's it look? Turn around. We got green sprouts. Go, 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 go. So now that we've got the green sprouts, we need to fill this place up with water. First thing I'm going to do, though, is fertilize, because I don't know how it's going to work with the water. I mean, I do know. It'll work just fine with water. As a matter of fact, you know what? Let's do it. So it knows that we have long grain rice in there, and they say water level's too low. Flood the field to avoid crop damage. Crop's just fine, by the way. Not every day you get to see the train go by. It's pretty cool. So what I've found, at least with a field very, very small in comparison to this one, is it took about 45 minutes in-game for the field to flood. So just a heads up through there. Let's see. We'll take a look at our AI worker system. No, steering assist. Yeah. No, number of headlands 1. It doesn't even let me do one full one. Yeah, all right. That will work for me. Let's come over here, and we will set it to that and kick on to fertilizer. Let's jump in and double check real quick and just see how we're done. And it is fertilizing, so we are good. And just if you're curious about the water, like, look at that. That is very, very cool. You can see the water splashing, even though the water is slightly below the level where you would expect it to be. Still very cool. And if you zoom out a little bit, you can actually see where you are, where you've been, and all that good stuff, making this a little bit easier to do. Okay, so with that, let's fast forward a little bit of time. We will double check and see. And with the fast forwarding of time, you can also see the pump. And as soon as the pump is done, we're good. Took about 40 minutes there to get that done. We come over and check it. We cannot flood or do anything. It is just ready. It's all right. So that is everything that we need to do today in game. So let's go back to bed. That is flooding number 1. We gotta do it one more time, at least according to the help menu. Flood the field for about 2 months before it has to be dry for the 3rd growth stage. You got it. Month number 3. How's it looking? It's looking great. We've got to do this one more time. So water level too low. Flood the field to avoid crop damage. So let's flood it one more time. And as we do this, since I've got growth stages turned off, because you will have to go into your crop calendar and figure out when you need to plant and harvest long grain rice. But I'm not doing that, and I don't care. So I think I'm going to go in here and set this to like August all the time and turn snow off just in case something bad happens. Yeah, looks great. Another 45 minutes later, and we are good. We have flooded it for the last time, and it should have one more growth stage to do, so let's go back to bed. It looks good after the next day. However, yeah, it's definitely not ready yet. We can come up here. It says water levels too low. Flood the field to avoid crop damage. But it said for the 2 months. It just said it right here. Flood the field for about 2 months before it has to be dry for the 3rd growth stage. Well, what growth stage are we in? Man, I wish these greens were closer together. I have no idea. I've done it for the 2 months. And I don't know what to do. I don't want to flood it because I don't know. You know what? We're not doing it. I've done it twice for about 2 months before the final growth stage. I've done it for about 2 months. What's about 2 months? Is that 2 months? Is that 3 months? I am a little bit furious, though. If the pump says flood the field, I'm going to do it. Now the grass is looking very, very good up into the next stage. We'll come over here, take a look, and no flooding needed. Okay, fantastic. Growth is still growing, so if the pump tells you you have to flood it, do it. I'm gonna go back to sleep. Hopefully we can harvest soon. I've got good news. It is ready to harvest. Yes. Take a look at the pump. It won't let us do anything, but that is a good thing because we need to harvest. Now, one of the good things about this is we used a normal seeder. We're gonna use a normal combine as well. I decided to bring out the FS25 with the John Deere S7. Heck of a combo right here, man. We'll bring it up. We will check out our steering assist. A number of headlands. I think 2's probably too many. Yeah, I think so. But hey, you know what? We'll go for it because 2's probably easier to turn around. Let's do it. Yeah, bring it forward, turn it down, drop it down, do the thing. Let's go, let's go, let's go. And we are doing it. We're harvesting long grain rice. Now we are getting a lot more, a lot quickly here. But if we go and take a look real fast at prices, so we have our rice here. So that's about $3,100 to $3,200 per 1,000 liters. If we go take a long grain rice, it's like half that. So you're not going to be getting as much money, but you can get that money literally more than twice as fast. So you could technically make more money with less time with long grain rice. It's very complicated how it all gets into play, but is it possible? Absolutely. And now the only thing left to do is cart and go sell. And one of the best things is going to be that you can use a regular grain bin for this. Check this out. Boom, boom. Yes, it's going in. Last but not least, let's grab our grain bin trailer. I don't really know what the cart. It's not really a cart. We're gonna put rice in here. Yeah, that's the right way to say it. Bring them up to the grain mill and sell, just like so. Wha-bam! And for about 13,000 liters of rice, we will get a decent income for sure. Should be finishing up any time now. Top right hand corner of your screen, 20 grand. Not terrible, not great, but not terrible. One of the things, if you're watching this when you come around, don't have enough money. Of course I don't. Well, I was going to say that you can make other things out of rice through the grain mill and then deliver those even further through some other places, and even don't like take your stuff and sell it here and then try to buy the place. It just disappears. So yeah. So there you go. That is your long grain rice tutorial for Farming Simulator 25. If you got any more questions, please let me know. If there was anything that wasn't clear, you can also ask and I will do my best to clarify any of those things. And if you want a much, much deeper dive into, well, what to do after harvesting, it's a liming and then start the video over again, you can go watch Farmer Cobb's video. I'm sure he did a fantastic job. Otherwise, just hope you have an awesome day. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.